What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Borderless podcast.
Episode 2. Here we are.
I'm Ali.
And I'm Ben.
And we're going to take you guys on a journey to a different country today. And the country that we're going to discuss is Myanmar, a country in Southeast Asia, formerly known as Burma, but now for the past few years, it's referenced as Myanmar. And we're going to talk to a couple people who are out there on the streets of Myanmar protesting against the current coup d'etat that was undertaken by the military just about a month ago after the free and fair democratic elections of the country. One of the people who's with us today is actually somebody who I met, and he's a good friend of mine. His name is Thant, and I'll let him introduce himself and tell us a little bit about what he's seeing and what his life is like right there, right now. And we also have another friend of his by the name of Min, who is with us as well. And he's also going to kind of describe what's going on in the country right now. So without further ado, guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves and maybe tell us what your feelings are with the current situation.
So everybody knows the Myanmar military seized the power on 1st February, and then the leaders were detained, including Aung San Suu Kyi and the President U Win Myint. So they're still in the prison. So now the people are in the street. First week, the protests are still peaceful, but the protests suddenly changed deadly protests because military use gun, and then they use a lot of weapons. More than 80 people were killed so far, and thousands of people were detained in the prison. Every day people are dying, not only Yangon, the biggest city, the whole nation. There's every city has a protest. The military never show their sympathy on their civilian. They are like terrorists.
I want to give the audience some perspective on the history, because I think people don't probably know why this is happening. The Myanmar military has led the country for many decades, actually, up until about just a few years ago when they had a fair election and Aung San Suu Kyi became the state counselor of the country. And they wrote a new constitution, and the military said, okay, we're going to rescind some of our power and we're going to let Suu Kyi be our leader. But for many decades, there was coup d'etats and the military was leading, and it was this junta. They're called the Tatmadaw. That's the name of the military. They were ruling with an iron fist, let's just say. So a lot of the younger generation, like you guys, got this taste of freedom over the past few years, this taste of like new life and technology and, contact with the Western world, because for a lot of years, tourists and foreigners could not come to Myanmar. So I got there in that little bubble, that little time period where people could go. But why do you think that now that there's been freedom for about, the past 10 years or so, why do you think the military all of a sudden after this election chose to enact another coup d'etat? What motivated them? What was the reason?
The military had its negative side over Suu Kyi government, and they studied accusation of the voting fraud. So in 2020 election. So at the time, their accusation was not logical because their evidence was not tangible, and they calculate a lot of borderless as well as a lot of fraud, but it is not in line with the view and the side that many civilians have. So before announcing any information and anything, they started to rule over our country again. illegally.
So Aung San Suu Kyi, once again for the audience, because we've said her name many times, she is the daughter of the first leader of Myanmar after British colonialism. This is way back, like after World War II. His name was Aung San. He was actually assassinated. This was many decades ago. And Aung San Suu Kyi was, she actually lived abroad. She knew Barack Obama. It's an American reference. They went to school together in Indonesia, I believe. And Aung San Suu Kyi came back to Myanmar, and she actually won an election back in the 1990s, but the military said this is illegitimate. We don't count this as an actual victory. And they put her on house arrest. And she was on house arrest for many years. She won the Nobel Prize for that. And then she became the leader again in the 2000 teens. And this is the person that they have now once again taken into custody, just like they did back in the 1990s. And part of your demands are her release and the president's release. She's the state counselor, the president. But what are your other demands? When you go out there and you protest, what are you guys demanding for other than going back to normal life?
Yeah. Other than releasing our leaders, the Dr. Suu Kyi and our president Wu Min and other official members and other parliament members, we are going to demand for federal democracy.
We don't want them to rule the country. People want freedom, because without freedom we cannot talk anything. Even though we are making this competition, in the past we did not have that kind of experience. Even though we did not have a chance to talk like that, even though they're saying the foreigners are like enemies, they're just brainwashed. We are brainwashed. So we are not anymore right now, because we have a chance to know our ethnic minority. Even though we are minority, we have to stand for democracy. That's why we go out there. And I met a lot of people who like me, and they're from west, they're from north. So it means our people don't want the digital anymore. They're like a devil. They're terrorists. I'm seeing, one of the video clip. It was shock. I'm so shocked, because the person is caught. The person just standing on the corner. The police are surrounding. Then he cannot do anything, But the soldiers just shoot his head closely, and he just fall down. And the policeman drag his body. Oh my God, this is so It's shocking. It means we cannot see how many people are killed behind the camera, how many people are detained behind the camera. We cannot know, So it means our country in a dangerous, because they are doing whatever he wants, Even though a lot of people were killed, they are still going out, So I don't know when this protest will stop. Yeah, the protest is still going. I don't know when will it stop.
Are people disappearing too? Is there situations where they just take them and they don't see them anymore?
Yeah. One of my friends, she's a girl, she was disconnected nearly 2 days with her family. The family is so, scary. They don't know how to do. They contact the lawyer, how to do. And there's a list which the military took the people. It's almost 200 people, they disconnect everybody. And then the families are trying to take their people, but they cannot, because they make a statement. It's like that. Anyone who is older 80 years, they will charge under 505 Act. It means if you are sued by that 505 Act, you will be in the prison more than 20 years. This is so scary. So she stay in the prison, and also my friends stay in the prison. There is no any chance to take up. We cannot go anywhere. They will try to fight wherever we go, including activists, journalists, everyone. Under 505, you cannot do anything. Even though you go for protest, there's also announcements like you post one post on social media, they are also under that law, they're controlling everything now.
I have a question about something that you guys brought up earlier that I was going to mention at the end. Arakan. So you both mentioned the Arakan army. For the audience that doesn't know, the Arakan army in Rakhine State, where you said, Thant, you're from, that's the northwest part of Myanmar. It's near the Bangladeshi border. The Arakan army is the militia army that was formed by the Rohingya people who have been world famous for the past few years because they were killed, pillaged, raped. They were just, everything that happened to them is now coming to light, I think, for the rest of the country, that maybe all those accusations towards the Tatmadaw, towards the military, of these things that they did to the Rohingya, they were probably valid. And I know that when I was in Myanmar, that a lot of Burmese people were thinking, okay, maybe the Rohingya are illegal, maybe they weren't supposed to be here, maybe they came from another country, maybe all the stuff that's being said about them is not, maybe it's not true, maybe the military didn't do this. But I think now there's been a lot of light that maybe it is true. Can I get your opinions on, are people having more sympathy and more empathy to the Rohingya people now, in Yangon, in the capital, or anywhere else? Are they feeling for them now?
Yeah, Myanmar government do not recognize Rohingya as an ethnic group. So I don't have much awareness for that, but I sympathy on every human being. But as for me, I don't want to care. I just want to live harmony. Everyone, I don't care of the religion. I don't care of any culture. I only care the human rights and human beings. If we respect each other, we can live in harmony.
Yeah, as for me, I also condemn all of the violence against human beings everywhere, every time. So at the time, the military is committing a lot of violence against the Rohingya people. So at the time, it is also the force and the force and it is the violence. It's the terrorism. It's maybe ethnic cleansing. So I feel a lot of sympathy about Rohingya people because I think it is just a terrorism.
And I think this is an opportunity for the country to come together, because I don't know, Min and Thant, if you disagree, let me know. But for them to now see what may have been happening, like Thant said, behind the camera, and all of these years potentially, and now is potentially happening to all of you guys in Yangon. I think it could bring, because Myanmar is a country with multiple civil wars. It's not just the Arakan army in the northwest and Rakhine. There's also Kachin State in the north on the Chinese border. There's also Shan State on the Thai border on the right, on the east. Sorry. So there's a few civil wars happening around this country of other ethnic groups, and I think that this is an opportunity potentially to finally get rid of this Tatmadaw, this junta, these terrorists, as Min says, and bring everybody together. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that?
So nowadays, most of the civilians are talking about such kind of appeal. So there are a lot of armed ethnic groups like KIA and the KMU, so and the African Army AA. So they have already talked about it is time to attack back the Tatmadaw, so to get the freedom. Okay, because it is the better situation and the better circumstance to get back the freedom for the ethnic. But it is not easy to do such kind of things, such kind of attack. There are a lot of military center and a lot of battalions all over Myanmar.
just going to ask one final question as we're winding down the time. What is your next move, both of you? Are you going to keep fighting, or is this something that is worth potentially sacrificing your life for, which it sounds like some people have done, or is it just worth kind of taking it and being safe for your family's sake or for your friend's sake? What's your next move?
Yeah. The biggest target is to get federal democracy. It is the last point. It is the last target. And at first, we need to we force and we encourage and we uh, ask for ask for releasing our leaders. Okay, so it is just the thing that we are going on. So we need to collaborate all of the ethnic groups in harmony. So including regardless of any religion, any ethnicity, any nationality, and we need to be a collaboration, and we need to construct a precise and stable government system.
You mentioned that the government has taken away social media, all forms of it, Facebook, things like that. How then are you able to collaborate and cooperate or work together with other social groups to make this happen?
They block Facebook, Twitter, and other ING. So the applications are also blocked by the military government. But we are still using the VPN to overcome such kind of problems, such kind of issues. So and then we are still using the Telegram. So instead of the Facebook. So because it's just a sociable and it's just an easy to use application that we are in a group, we are in a collaboration. So at the time we shout out our slogan and we collaborate and we cooperate each other. We inform any important and any crucial information each other, and we plan strategically. So to get back at how to plan, how to protest, how to resist their fight, okay, and how to live safe.
I know that you guys have been making like shields and stuff. You sent me pictures of it, like shields, and I feel like you're a phalanx from ancient Rome, you know. So be careful when you're going out there. I know that I feel like you're the 300, you know, and I don't want Sparta to go down. But Thant, you didn't get a last word, so I want to hear your last thoughts on what are you doing next.
Yeah, I hope at least, they can help us. The US is such a great country. They want all of us in democracy. Because I've seen a lot of people are, arrested, and then people are killed. They cannot do anything. That some of people are staff, telling their friends, their people like to fight back. But another group said, don't fight, because if we fight, it will like a civil war. So the international community cannot interfere with us. So people are, stressed out, and they confuse a lot how to do, because we cannot see like that, when they are coming with a lot of weapon guns. We cannot do anything. We're just running. If we cannot run, we will be killed. Yeah, but we will not stop going out. We will go, even though we are threatened. Even though we have to give our life, no matter, we have to go out.
Ben, any last thoughts? Anything?
Again, just appreciate you guys being on to share this moment with us. We are going to try and do our part to try and spread this message on your behalf to as many people as we can, because the country really deserves the attention that it needs. And,
Yeah.
you know, if we can all kind of do our part. So please share this podcast with a friend. We need to talk about it, and that's where change starts. And for the lucky many living here in the US, that change really can start with you simply by talking about it amongst your friends and your networks and your groups. Get the word out so that we can move forward together and hopefully help these people. It's tragic what's happening, and I would really love nothing more than to see change, and to see this military coup end, this military rule, this dominance that's been terrorizing so many lives.
I agree with everything you just said. And I'm sick and tired of this Tatmadaw. I've had enough of these guys. You know, they've put so many people through misery over so many decades, so many years. I saw it when I went to Rakhine State, when I met the Rohingya and their villages there, and then also in Bangladesh. And now I'm seeing my friends in Yangon go through this. You know, it's just, this is miserable. These people, I don't know, they're not human. They're not human. And I want you guys to fight back, but I want you to be safe. Min, you're now a friend of ours as well. And I want you guys back on this podcast. Ben, I think you probably agree with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We need to have you back. We are definitely going to be looking for an update in the coming months. So look for messages from us.
Stay safe. And
please stay safe. Yes.
That's right. And to the audience, we will see you next time in Cuba. Good day.
Very good.
Okay, thank you for
everybody.
having me.
Thank you.